Hi everyone, it's Jill. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you are new. Today I'm going to be working on the Ariel diamond painting that I'm doing as a collab with Marji Franklin. I didn't upload last week because I was sick, and then I was sick a lot of the week with a really bad headache, so I will be doing like all of the rest of the blue and her hair today. So hopefully I'll get that done, and hopefully it won't take too long. I may have to cut out part of it because I haven't figured out how to speed anything up yet on my phone. And I only have my phone, so it's like me and my phone, and that's it. I don't have a computer, so I don't have a way to do that. I hope everyone's doing well. Right now it is cold here. It was like 10 degrees, I think, when I went to the grocery store this morning, so it was really cold. Or 15 maybe. But this time of year, here in Minnesota, we're really happy if it's like, if the high is like 32. That's good for us. So it hasn't been too bad this year yet, so far. But it's easier. It's nice when there's not freezing cold, because then you don't have to really worry about your car starting, because when it gets below 0 and the high is like 19 below, it's really hard to know if your car is going to start. And it doesn't matter really. It's more your battery, from what I know, on whether or not your car starts. But I don't seem to have the best of luck, so hopefully it won't get too cold. And, well, I really don't know what to talk about, so I'll probably work on this color and try to think of something and come back when I am done. Okay, I'm pretty much done with the 2s now. I just have this little area, and then I'm gonna go on to the 3. I wanted to talk about something. I don't know how many people have done huge diamond paintings, but I kind of decided, like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago that I wanted to try a super duper huge diamond painting. So when there was a sale, I ordered a 80 by 120 diamond painting from AliExpress. Kind of scared. Don't know what, I mean, just because it's huge. Not sure. Probably will be the size of this table. Also, it is from, I ordered it from Disc Paint, and originally they had the shipping as the normal, like, e-packet, where, like, almost everything ships through. But I noticed they updated the shipping, and it's now coming through DHL. Didn't know AliExpress did DHL, but that should be interesting. Kind of wondering how long it'll take. I mean, I've seen people do big ones like 100 and something by 200, but those have all been like when I saw someone do the Great Wall of China that size, and it was a round. The one I ordered is square. And oddly enough, I'm actually faster at doing squares than I am round. I generally do a lot more squares, so squares are like super easy for me. But I like rounds, I just don't do as many, I guess. I don't know. Most of mine that I ordered, like when I first started, were all square. And then a lot of the ones that I've ordered lately have been square. So I guess I just really like squares. I don't know. I also generally use the thinner multi-placers, but on this one I've been using just a regular multi-placer. And so, I don't know, the thin one seemed to work better for sure with squares, because there's like not room in between them at all. And so that's what I tend to use, and I like the fact that it's not just 3, 6, and 9 placers. It's like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way through 15. There's each individual one. So if there's a ton, I can do them. Actually, I haven't used most of them, but if you want to, you could use up to a 15 placer. Which, I haven't tried that yet, but maybe. I don't know. I also don't do a lot of diamond paintings where there is a lot of color blocking. This one is one with a lot of color blocking, but most of the ones I do tend not to have color blocking. And so I'm stuck doing like, there may be 3 or 4 in a row, if you're lucky. Or if I'm lucky. So I usually end up doing just single placer, because it's just, I don't know, so much faster, I guess. And then I also do a lot of I do a lot from AliExpress, so I also do a lot of sheet adhesive, because most stores on AliExpress use the sheet adhesive. But I don't mind either one. I don't really have a preference. I have noticed some people do have a preference, but I don't know, they both got their ups and downs, so I don't really decide my diamond painting on like what kind of adhesive it is. I usually only decide based on if I like the image or not, so it works for me. And I buy from like everywhere. Like, if I find an image I like and it's licensed, I'll buy from wherever it's licensed to. I like to buy my customs from Evermoment, just because I've had good luck with them, and I haven't had any problems. I do know people who have used other stores, and so they're definitely not like the only store, but I like them. And then they're all squares. They don't sell rounds. So if you don't like squares, just to let you know, Evermoment is all square. That's all they sell. And so it'll be interesting because according to DHL, the big diamond painting should be here on Wednesday. And I'm kind of scared because I've never ordered anything that big. And I just ordered it big to try one big. And so I didn't want to buy it from like an expensive place. And there was a sale, and so I just decided to try it. But I know, like, there's a few stores on AliExpress that use poured glue, but most don't. And I think that the reason is more to do with, like, the AliExpress. I think I heard that the AliExpress timeline where the sellers, if you don't ship it out in a certain amount of time, there can be, like, penalties from AliExpress. I'm not exactly sure, but I thought I heard that. And so when you're using the double-sided adhesive, that's much faster because you're not waiting for the adhesive to cure, so it's not like, so everything doesn't slide. And that's why when you get a diamond painting with the poured glue, if it's really, really slippery, then what you just need to do is leave it uncovered for like a half hour, come back, see if it's better, and just keep doing that until it's not slippery. And it's not like, if the glue doesn't want to take your diamonds, same thing. It's just that the glue hasn't had time to cure enough. And so you just need to let it cure. And that is one downside to the poured glue, is that sometimes stores don't. And if you don't know that, then you just get mad at it because it's too slippery. But really all you have to do is just let it sit to air and it'll be fine. I know when I order from eBay, sometimes they are slippery, and that's what I do. And I really don't have much going on here because I pretty much live alone with my cat, and I'm waiting on, like, paperwork from the doctor to possibly go to work part-time, but because I was working part-time because I am on disability, so I get that, but then you can also work, like, part-time, like, very part-time, and so I was trying to do that for just to be, like, around people and to have something to do, and it was going good. And then my back completely decided he didn't like having to stand for hours at a time, and I was having shooting pain down my legs, and it was to a point where they said that the injections weren't working anymore. And so now the next step is to try a radio frequency ablation, where basically I think they cauterize a nerve, but you have to go in and they like put anesthesia in your back twice, because they do like tests, like test runs to make sure that it's going to actually help. Because I think it's so that like your insurance will approve it. Not positive, but I know after the second test you do have to like, the doctor will order it, but then they have to wait for the insurance to approve it. And then once they approve it, then you can go in for the procedure. And it just depends like what insurance you have if they approve it. And so I'm hoping they will, because it'd be nice to be able to not be stuck at home all the time because of my back. And it'd be nice to just like have something to do that, like, well, besides, I mean, I like diamond painting, but I mean, I liked being out with people, and because I was working retail, it was standing all the time. And so that was a downside. And where I worked, we had to actually, like, I didn't work at Target or anything, so we had to, bring in the carts, like, by, like, this, rope system where we like, rope, like, 6 of them together and push 6 of them at a time. That was, like, the most because of OSHA and stuff, which is the government's restrictions. But that gets interesting in the winter, because nothing wants to move. Once there's the first layer of snow, it's very, very hard to get carts to move. But I don't know, I miss my coworkers. I did like where I worked. Although it has changed from when I started, because I was working at Whole Foods, and most people know Amazon has now bought them, and so it got a little interesting. And so I haven't been there for over a year, but I've been on like medical leave, or ADA leave, because of my back. And so we're trying to see if we can get this procedure done, so then I can at least try to go back. And then I think my doctor said, like, if I can't, that she would have me look for a job where you don't have to stand. So, and here where I live, like, that would mean that I would go back to vocational rehab and talk to my worker, and she would have to reopen my case and reassign me to a job placement person, and then we would have to look at different places for me to work. But hopefully we don't have to go through that, but if I do, I do. It's just when you're currently still employed, I guess they consider you working, so they won't stay open. But I don't know. My doctors kind of know more about that stuff than I do. But I don't know if what they're gonna say, because it all depends on my back. And so hopefully I'll be able to go back, because I did like the people I was working with at Whole Foods, and it could get interesting with like the different like people that would come. And like it was weird because as a cashier we had to know a lot, like where stuff was, what department it was in, and like who could help them and stuff. And then a lot of times we get asked like, is this taste good? And but I didn't really, I know a lot of people, a lot of my coworkers bought stuff, but bought food and stuff. I didn't really buy a lot of food there, even though we did get a discount because it was pretty pricey. And being gluten-free, and because I have to be, so being gluten-free and trying to buy groceries, you kind of go where it's cheaper. And then it's also a lot cheaper to do the naturally gluten-free, and it's actually healthier, according to my doctor. And start at 3, which is this cut. And so when I found out I had to go gluten-free, my doctor was like telling me that it's much better to do naturally gluten-free because of like preservatives and stuff, and all the made to be gluten-free stuff, I guess, is really high in preservatives. I don't know. I don't really eat a lot of it normally. I eat a lot of quinoa now, and rice, but I don't know. And obviously, if you've been listening, you can tell I'm all over the place in this one, because didn't really know what to talk about. But I'm just gonna work on this color for a while, and I'll come back. And because I missed last week, I will be doing another color to try to not be like super far behind. So I'll talk to you in a little bit. Okay, I'm back. As you can see, I am almost done with this color, and after I finish this one, I think I'm gonna do her tail and then be done for this week. When I do smaller ones like 30 by 40s, I tend to like to do like one color at a time because it seems to work better for me, especially considering I do huge ones, and so I think to me this isn't huge. Everyone is different, and I like the little ones you can get off of eBay, but for some reason I really like the huge ones because I guess because they take more time, and I don't know, I just like the look of them. But the eBay ones are just, they're fun. And sometimes on eBay you find ones you can't find on AliExpress. I've seen that before. So, I mean, it's not just like any one store is better than the other. They're all, to me, they're all different. And I haven't done like Peggy Buy or CES deals yet, but I'm sure I will eventually. The one thing I like about AliExpress is you can choose your size, and you can like choose which seller you decide to buy from, and you can kind of in a way set your own budget that way, because obviously like some brands are more than others on AliExpress. Like Evermoment is one of them. I think they are the most expensive. I'm not positive, but they're one of them. And I think the one that's KUFWKEY, I think that one's a little more than some of the other ones. But I haven't tried them yet. There's so many that I want to try on AliExpress that I'm not sure. Like, I don't know. I do like some of the 5 panels on some of the other sites, like CES deals, that I haven't found on AliExpress, so I might try them. But I have a lot of diamond paintings. I really need to just work on not having a million of them in my house to do undone ones. So I really need to just stop buying and keep doing them. But it's hard. It's so hard. When I first started and people were like, it's just as hard not to buy as it is. It's just as much fun to buy as it is to do them. I was like, I'm in trouble then. Because I kind of have that with a lot of different hobbies. So it's like, oh no, not another one of those. But it is fun. And sometimes, depending on the company, they are like either limited edition or available for, or they do get discontinued. So that's always interesting, but I don't know. I do like a lot of different companies, and so I do not just shop with one. And if I find an image like on AliExpress from a store that really doesn't have good ratings, like they're like really low, like 92 or 93%, then I can always, like, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just message Zoe from Evermoment and just ask her, can I get a custom of this? And so then I know it's from a company that's better. So, I mean, it's not like you can't work around if you find an image that you like, and you can get it in a custom. And if you're into rounds more than square, I know that there are certain stores that have like the dummy circles where they're really dark. These don't, which is nice. But I think Home Fun might be one that still has them. I know I ordered like a Hurricane a while ago and it did, but then I ordered one recently and it didn't. So I don't know with Hurricane if they're just going back and forth or if they just decided not to have them or what they've decided, but I know for a while they didn't even have grid lines for squares, which is really, really hard to do square if you don't have grid lines. Squares are the ones that are hard. And as always, I've missed some. So I can just fill those in because I have them around here somewhere. And I have had plenty of every color so far. And I wouldn't worry because even if you were to run out, Amy is on Facebook. And although I think email, she said, is a better way to get a hold of her. But it's not like you're waiting from China. She's in the US, so you will get them. Like, I got mine and, like, I think it shipped on a Monday, and I got it on a Wednesday, so I was like, whoa, that's fast. And so and I do like the bigger trays, and I do have my, like, Archer's Arts tray, which I usually use with my, like, squares, but with rounds, I don't know, I just seem to like the big white tray. I don't know, might just be me, I don't know. But I do like my Archer's Arts trays a lot. And I'm really liking the crystal diamond painting, which is probably not a great thing for my wallet, but oh well. I know this is from crystalcanvas.us, but I know that, like, I think Star does all rhinestone ones. I'm not sure, but I think they do. I think they're the one with the all rhinestone Starry Night. And so, and they're on Amazon, which is nice because then you can get, like, prime shipping if you get them. But I guess I'm used to just waiting for China mail, so I guess that's why you kind of have a stash, so if something comes slow, you're not stuck waiting. And one thing that I do like about eBay is it makes diamond painting affordable for everyone. It's not like you're paying a lot of money for a diamond painting. And for those who like the pour glitter, most of the eBay ones that I've seen, I think I've only seen like Marji get like 1 or 2. Like I remember she got that 1 box of double-sided adhesive, but I think most of hers from eBay, from what I remember, have all been pour glue. So if you like that, that's a plus. I mean, and not every image has to be huge. I have a little one that I love, and it's of Nemo. And some images, what eBay sells, tend to be kind of small, and so they might not come out in detail, but a lot of their images come out fine. So it's not like just because you're buying from eBay, you're going to get images that don't come out fine. Most of the time, you will, as long as you look and make sure you can see what the canvas looks like before you bid. That's like the biggest thing with eBay that I've noticed, is if you don't if you don't see the canvas, you really don't know what you're getting. And sometimes it's good. Like, I've seen Marji get, I think the shark one is one she just bid on, and it was big. It was like a 40 by 50. That's not usually the case, but when it doesn't say this, when it doesn't say the size, but you can get lucky. And then the thing with like AliExpress is knowing how to use knowing how to stack deals, when to do them, that kind of thing, because their sales aren't really sales. I mean, they call them a sale, but they're only sales if you know how to use the coupons, if you know how to shop their sales, because their stores generally will jack up the prices right before a sale and bring them down a little bit lower, like not much, than what they had. Like maybe, like even my like 80 by 120, I think was only like $2 or $3 difference from not on sale to on sale. But then they had like if you buy $65, you get $6 off. And then they had some other deal from the store itself where you got some more money off. So you just have to know like how to stack the deals. And I think that's with like a lot of places, because I mean, I don't know. I mean, pretty much, like, if you watch for a sale, pretty much most diamond painting sites will have them. Although I don't tend to use the ones that, like, I haven't ever tried, like, paint with diamonds, or, like, the US sites that seem to be, like, just buying ones and reselling them, because they seem to be a lot more expensive then. And I don't know what's up with Hurricane, but I've noticed that a lot of shops seem to be subcontracting with them lately. And So I'm not sure how that works, but I've kind of noticed that. But then again, you wouldn't notice it if you haven't gotten a hooligan and you don't know what hooligan canvases look like. So and I know a lot of like YouTube people really like especially in the United States, they will buy a lot from Diamond Art Club. And I think what a lot of people don't understand is in the US, it's really not that expensive, especially when their canvases go on sale, because you can get the free shipping. And you do have to, and I heard that they have now started free shipping for international, but you have to spend twice as much. But if you save your money and you really like a bunch of images, I would just save it and just buy the ones I like. That's kind of what I do anyway. I really like Mandy, and I like JoJo's art, and I like Chuck Pinson, but some of the newer artists, they're just not for me, so, but that's okay, because I know there's people that like them, and everybody's going to be different, so, just because a lot of people and when I unbox them, I'm not saying, like, you need to buy from there, because I understand not everybody can, and not everybody likes the images. But I do buy from a variety of places. I don't just buy from Diamond Art Club. And every company is going to be different. One company that I'd really like to try soon again, because I bought one from this company, but I bought a square, and they use a film adhesive, and their rounds, it's Treasure Studios Art if you're wondering who the company is, and their rounds are 2.5 millimeters, so they're the same size as most companies' squares, so I'd really like to try a round from them, and just see what it looks like when they're smaller. I know for a while they were hit by the wildfires in Australia, but I thought I was in a live and Rachel said that that was over. So, and there's one image that I really like that I have seen all over AliExpress, and I didn't realize till I went to their website that it was a licensed image to Treasure Studios Art. So I'm glad I found that out, because now I will be buying it from them, and I really like it. So and like the thing is like, unlike other companies, one thing that Treasure Studios Art does differently is she doesn't just have canvases just sitting around or anything. She has them made as you order them. So, yeah, you'll have to wait a little bit, but I mean, we have to wait for China mail anyway, so I really don't see a difference. And then the type of adhesive that she uses is like used in, like, I think she said, like, I think the website says like archival stuff, so it's like industrial grades of like super strong. So I haven't started mine that I have from them that's a square, but I'm really looking forward to it to just see what the difference is in the adhesive. And I mean, she's really, Rachel from Treasure Studios Arts is really seems to care. I mean, she's in a lot of live streams of people who do her work, stuff that she sold. And I mean, I haven't really heard any complaints. I mean, if somebody has a problem, I know she's very willing to help you resolve whatever problem you have. And if you're short diamonds, she sends more. And so, I mean, it's not, since they're not like a huge company, it's a lot easier to communicate. So I am looking forward to finally ordering the one that I really like from her, just because I didn't even realize it was not a stock image. So when I found it on her website, I'm like, oh, I guess I better get it here because it's licensed to that. So she does licensed images as well. I know DIY Moon Shop does a lot of licensed images. I think a lot of places are starting to do licensed images just because, I mean, if they're selling in a country where there are copyright laws, it can cause problems. I'm not sure. I haven't really heard of it, but I mean, I guess there's always the potential if you're in a country and there are copyright laws that you do have to follow them, even if your product comes from a country where there are no copyright laws. So I'm guessing that's probably why more companies are doing licensed work. And the artist gets money off of it, which is always good to make sure that the artist is getting money for the work that they did. So and I've seen, like, there were some last fall, and I think there's a Valentine's one on Treasure Studios Arts right now. That's, like, limited edition, but they're ones that I think Rachel might have even made. So, I mean, so I really have been looking at their website lately. So I'm looking forward to ordering the one, and the picture that I like is by Howard Robinson, and so I really am looking forward to ordering that. I was waiting just because, like she said, you know, that they were affected by the wildfires, but I guess that's over where she's at. So hopefully I'll be able to order. And then I don't know what they're, I think it's $40 with them for free shipping. I'm not positive, but it's not as much as some places. I mean, I think every website has a different amount for free shipping. And the reason that a lot of the companies in China can ship for free, where other companies based in other countries can't really do that for any amount, is because China is still a developing country. They are not considered like a developed country like the US or some other countries. So they qualify for much cheaper shipping rates. And basically, it's very cheap for them to ship. Whereas, like, if the company is based in the United States or the UK or other countries, that's very different. Because they are shipping from a developed nation, and so they don't get the shipping discounts that China gets. So that's kind of why you can find free shipping on AliExpress. And a lot of times the eBay ones that are coming from China, yeah, those will be the same thing. Because they're coming from China, you can get shipping really cheap. But I've seen videos on YouTube of what they do to mail in China. It's kind of scary. It explains why your packages, whenever you get them from China, they kind of look beat up. Because they basically just throw them in China mail. So I'm not sure if it's all forms of mail in China, but I know it's like China Post. I've seen. Ooh, this area is a little slippery. So because some of these diamonds are slipping a little, so if I was really picky and really wanted to wait, all you'd have to do is, like, leave it uncovered for, like, an hour, and you'd be fine. Because all it really means is that it wasn't left uncovered long enough to cure. And so it's not really grabbing the diamonds as well as it would if it had been. And I think every company that uses the poured glue method runs into that issue every once in a while. So it's not a big deal. It's something that can be dealt with. It's just something you have to know about, I guess. Kind of like how to fix rubbers in the double-sided adhesive. If you know about it, it's not a problem. As long as it's not like really, really deep rivers or bubbles that won't calm down. Those can get annoying, but usually if it's bad like that, the company will send you a new canvas. I haven't really had many problems. The weirdest one was when I got an Ever Moment. The tube came in perfect condition, but the canvas had bubbles everywhere. I was like, what's going on? I don't understand this. And I contacted Zoe, and she fixed it right away. So it wasn't a big deal, but it was just so confusing because the tubes have come messed up. I mean, I guess because China Mail, they really just don't care, and so they just kind of throw your packages. But I've had tubes pretty dang messed up, and the canvas inside was just fine. So I don't know what happened there. It was kind of interesting. And I mean, I've had canvases where I have to do some repair on them, and that's not to me, that's not a deal breaker. The ones that you have to do the most work with are the ones that come in those bubble boots. That's what I call them. They're like a tube, and they're kind of like a bubble mailer, kind of. And if they don't put the diamond painting around the foam core, I haven't had a lot of rivers from that, but I have had a lot of, like, bubbles, so yeah, it's not the best way to ship. I'm like, every time I get one, I'm just like, oh no, will they use this again? And so, oops, missed a couple more. And so, yeah, that's my least favorite way of shipping, because even if it's in a box, and the box gets smushed if they use a foam core, even boxes can get banged up very easily because they're coming from China. And so the foam cores really do save them a lot. I don't know, pure V. Yes. Okay. Because there's a couple in her eyes, but they're mostly down here. So I've never done a full rhinestone one before now, but I'm really liking it. And that's really going to cause... that means I'm going to buy more, which I'm trying not to do. Trying not to, but it's not working very well. I'm not going to buy any more, lasts about a week usually, because then I'm like, oh, I want that one. Well, what if they discontinue it? And even if, I mean, a lot of the ones that I say that to are even ones on AliExpress, and even if the store stops carrying it as an image, you can usually order it as a custom. Whereas some stores, if they stop carrying it, they just don't carry it anymore. Like, I know Diamond Art Club does that. I know Treasure Studios Arts does that with some of theirs, not all of them. But some of them, if they say, like, limited edition, then they usually, on Treasure Studios Arts, those are ones that once the holiday is over, or if it's made specifically for a certain, like, YouTube collab, once those are over, then the canvas is no longer available. So you do have to be careful there. But otherwise, I think most companies, you can pretty much get them at any time. Just missed that one. I always seem to miss some. Even if it's only one area, I always seem to miss some. Sorry, I'm knocking you around. But, ooh, there was a 5 there too. And then, okay. So, where did the bag go? Where did the baggie go? And one thing I do look for on AliExpress that I think is kind of important is to make sure the store says that they send 30% extra diamonds, or you could come really close or run out. And some stores, like, I know if you run out, like, way later, even with Ever Moment, they'll send you the diamonds if you just let them know and show them what you need. And, like, I think other stores on AliExpress are starting to do, like, a diamond warranty. Like, where you can, like, message them. I know I've seen that on Dispaint lately, and I was like, wow. Because I know, like, the first one, I think the first company to do that was Diamond Art Club, and I'm not sure if other companies are trying to be like them, or they're just trying to improve their quality, or what. But that's nice to know that, like, you know, if you run out of diamonds, that you're not gonna have to go out and buy them. You may have to wait if it's a Chinese company, but if it's like Diamond Art Club, you wait, like, as long as it takes for UPS to get to you. Which, for me, that's less than a week, so it doesn't bother me. So, but I mean, even if they're coming from China, I've had them come in like a week and a half or 2 weeks because they are such small packages that it doesn't really matter. So, I don't know. I don't really worry about running out because I do use the, I do tend to look for companies that say they send extra. And then a lot of times, if you at least contact the company, they'll send you them, even if you have to wait on AliExpress, because they don't want the bad review or whatever, because that affects, like, their store and, like, how well they're suggested or how well they, like, look to AliExpress. So, where'd the bag go? Where'd the bag go? Ew, no, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. This one. So every color, I've had plenty of diamonds so far on this one. I'm probably going to do her hair next week. But I see I missed. Ooh, I missed one. How do I do that? Okay. I see I missed a couple of Y's. But, hopefully I will be doing her hair next week, and then, like, other areas after that. But I really like the look of these crystals, which is kind of scary because you can order customs from her, and that means more diamond pieces. So, this is what she looks like so far. It's so pretty. You can't even see all the sparkle from the rhinestones. I know you can. It's really sparkly. And then you can see that they are rhinestones. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.